Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast is the Darkest Timeline. So, today on the Darkest Timeline, I am talking about birthdays. It's mostly about birthdays and how a variety of different things tie into birthdays and how, what's on your birthday list. Let's find out together. No movie this week. Movies are a bit of a... well, you'll see. I sort of explain it in the episode. There's some TV and some games. But yeah, that's this episode. Before we get started, please do consider like, share, subscribe, and comment. Leave a review where you can leave a review. And please do consider sharing the podcast around. Right, let's get started. Here we go. This is CookieCast, the Darkest Timeline. Oh, how you doing? Are you well? I hope that is the case. I hope you are well. I hope everything is well for you. If in fact this is not the case, you are not okay, do reach out to us here at the podcast. Anybody here is happy to talk to you. And if you don't feel like you want to reach out to strangers on the internet, you can reach out to friends and family members. Friends and family members will surely be happy to speak to you, talk to you, say hi, how are you doing, how's life, how are you getting on, and finally, if that is not the case, there are services out there that you can reach out to, and if you feel like that is the case, then you should do that. But do reach out to us here. We are happy to speak to you. Today's podcast is interrupted by alarms that I set 5 minutes ago in the hope of remembering that I had something to do in 5 minutes. And, yep, that's a big fat no from me. Damn it. Gonna have to set another one now. That's going to be super annoying in 5 minutes' time. So, I feel weird about today's podcast. I feel apprehensive. I have to talk about something that I fear is going to make me look bad. It's just a little. It's a tiny thing. That's what she said. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to come out too well in this one. If I'm honest, I don't think I'm going to do very well. Oh my. So, we had a birthday in our house last week. That is right. And it was the big man's. That's right. No, not the big man. No, not him. It was my birthday. And anyone who's listened for more than a year, or more precisely more than a few years, will know birthdays in our house are a little bit of a mixed bag. In the last 5 years, it might be less than that. In the last few years, certainly, I have had one of the worst birthdays I've ever had. I want to say last year was okay. I have a feeling this time last year I did a podcast where I was like, yeah, it was all right. I should have probably gone back and looked it up, but that would require some actual planning. So I know what you're thinking. How did it go this year? Well, mixed. Now, a little bit of background. Let's say this is your first time here. Welcome to you. Now let's say that you have absolutely no idea what I feel or think about birthdays. Well, you should probably find out. So let's do that now. There are 365 days in the year. As a more than middle-aged man, I consider that the 2 days that I get that are specifically, some would say, designated to me, i.e. Father's Day and my birthday, it's not too much to ask for just that, for those to be my days, for those days to be about me. They are 2 days of 365. 365 minus 2 leaves a lot of days. And when you spend your time doing this or that or the other for children or other people or whatever, as time wears on, it does feel a little bit like, hey, maybe this day could be a little bit about me. And that's where things start to sound selfish. And this is where I start to sound a little bit, ungrateful. That's going to come into this one. Ungrateful. Maybe he's ungrateful. Maybe it's Maybelline. So, is he being ungrateful, ladies and gents? Is it one of those situations where he's like, oh man, I wasn't spoiled, rotten, etc. It's a real mixed bag. The one from a few years back, it was just horror. It was awful. I hated it. It was a real kind of middle finger birthday. It was very much here's a big fuck you on your birthday. Nobody wants that. I've got friends who do not acknowledge birthdays at all. They don't want you to even suggest it might be their birthday. They will straight up, wish violence on you if you do. I know people and have known people who are like, it's my birthday month. Like, your birthday is this month. No, this month is my birthday. Like, oh, you're one of them. And you think they're joking. And they're not. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, bro. Don't be that guy. So, it's a real mixed bag at the end of the day. So, there are a variety of different people and they deal with birthdays in a variety of different ways. Some people, the one that gets me, I don't want it to be my birthday because it means I'm getting old. Shut the fuck up. Honestly, realizing that getting old is as unavoidable as most things in this world, probably want to get that one out of the way early. Probably want to accept it. Settle in. It's going to happen a few times. And then shut the fuck up. So, there's a variety of different people. I'm not really one for the, I'm getting old. Because, like I said, severely unavoidable. I think my toxic trait would be that I'd like for one day to just feel like it was a one day, a my day. And then you get older and older and older and you go, it doesn't necessarily need to be that. It just need, maybe if your children can wish you a happy birthday, that'd be nice. And then they do and you go, that was nice. And then, your significant other wakes you up and goes, happy birthday. And you go, thanks. That was nice. And so on. You get a text message here or there. Happy birthday. Thanks. It's nice. Then there's the other things. Then there's the things where you're like, it's not really for me. It's not really for me, about me. It doesn't scream birthday. And we will get on to that because this is a two-part problem. You have the I don't know. Is it just me that has like a birthday checklist? Here's all the things that need to happen on my birthday for me to feel like I've had a birthday. And as the years go on, you start to realize that some of the things that used to be at the very tippity top of that list over the years steadily fall further and further and further, and then they carry on falling past the bottom of the list so that they become the least important thing on your birthday. And that's I think it shows growth and growing up and your age and things like that, that you go, well, that's not what was once the most important is no longer important, and so on and so forth. So let's go with the pluses and tell you this much. I got some of the nicest, most thoughtful, considerate gifts I think I've ever had. Like, imagine a situation where somebody's like, I got you a gift, and you sit down to open it and you go, oh man, I hope that in this gift, in this box, is this item, because I really want this item. And I didn't really tell anybody that I wanted it, but I really wanted it. And you open that box and that item's in there and you go, wow, that's awesome. And somebody says to you, what do you want for your birthday? And you're like, do you know something? I don't want a lot of stuff, but there are a couple of things I do want. And you tell them, you say, these are the things that I would like because, I'll be after a new one of these, or I could really do with one of these. And you open your gifts and you get those items, you go, that's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you very much. And every time you open a gift, you go, that's amazing, that's wonderful, it's brilliant. I can say this categorically. Every gift I got was fantastic. Everything was exactly what I wanted and more. Things that I didn't even know I wanted, I got and was like, this is brilliant. And I got money to put towards things which I used to put towards things. I got a game, I got t-shirts, I got all the, practical things that I need, practical things, trainers, So every time you open a gift, you go, my God, this is amazing. There was one thing I didn't get. And it was very high on my list of things that I wanted. I didn't get it. But it was very expensive. One of those items that you go, it's really expensive. I'm not getting that. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to ask for it either because it's very expensive. And I was like, look, I only want a couple of things. And I got those things that I asked for, and there we go. There was one item. I was like, bro, if I could have anything, it'd be that. Didn't get it. That's okay. Outside of that, all gifts, phenomenal. Fantastic gifts. Love them. So, how did the day go? Not the best. The activities that I did for the day, the me-based activities, the things that I wanted to do, didn't quite happen. Why, I hear you ask? Well, when your birthday is a team effort and your team members want to do other things, and you're like, guess we're doing that then. Guess that's that. Okay, here we go. And, day started out well. It was very much, get to do this, and this is different, and this is nice. Cool. Go off. take my youngest daughter to school, see my middle daughter, tick 2 children off right there. Didn't see my son. He wasn't at home. So I saw him later. That's 3 children ticked off. Boom. All 3 of them have said happy birthday. I've had a hug with all 3 of them. This is going well. 3 down, 1 to go. Went off to do an activity. The activity was supposed to be, let's do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do this. First part of the activity, I wasn't feeling it. So, not great, not ideal. Second part of the activity, okay, let's salvage this activity. That wasn't possible. Was unable to salvage the activity. Second part, not possible. Okay, well, move on. Let's keep it moving. Doesn't have to be a disaster. Third part went off reasonably without a hitch. So, 1 out of 3, not too bad. That ends our morning activities. Not the worst, not the best. I keep saying to people at the moment, look at it this way, could have been at work. So, let's move swiftly on to the afternoon, shall we? Well, I am a man who likes to do certain things, whether it's my birthday or not. Got to get a workout in, so home to work out. Workout complete, a birthday workout, and then off we pop to collect youngest daughter from school, home, various points throughout the day, opening lovely gifts, fantastic time and very enjoyable. I got one of the best t-shirts I've ever had. I always get a fantastic birthday t-shirt. This year, no different. That's what I mean. Fantastic t-shirt. Wore it all day. Wish I hadn't, because I'm pretty sure I've ruined it. That's a different story for later. Once we passed a certain threshold, it turned into birthday is now over. The day wasn't, but it turned into something else. Now, I'm going to pause things there because we're about to trip over into a different story, and I'm going to jump backwards. Do you remember the list? So far on the list, a series of things have been ticked off. Lovely gifts, doing stuff, seeing children, tick, 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 all of this, fantastic time. Money, bought Steam vouchers, used Steam vouchers to buy games, got another game, we'll be talking about that in a bit, and so on and so on. Let me ask you a question. It's rhetorical because you can't answer me unless you want to pop your answer on an email and drop it down to me. If it was your birthday, would you have a birthday tea? Are you the kind of person that says, it's my birthday, I'm allowed to have a takeaway for tea? It's my birthday, I'm going out for a meal. It's my birthday, I'm having homemade nachos for tea. Are you that person? Because I certainly am. In our house, we do the birthday tea. You can pick whatever you want for tea, and as long as it's within reason, you can have that for your tea. Birthday tea. I did not get to have a birthday tea because I did not get to have any tea on my birthday at all. No tea, no meal in the evening on my birthday. So, let's forget about the meal. Let's forget about the birthday tea. It's overrated, guys. It's overrated. Come on, don't be silly. Birthday cake, on the other hand, you can't have a birthday without cake. Are you insane? Are you a crazy person? Birthday cake, what we feeling, guys? Big. One of those ones from the supermarket that's like 15 quid and it's supposed to feed 85 people, but you look at it and think, give me a fork and I'm taking it down in one sitting. You know, one of those. Birthday cake on your birthday. Yes, sir. Even if it's a cupcake with a candle in. It's birthday cake all day, baby. Birthday cake breakfast, birthday cake for lunch, birthday cake for tea. I didn't have any tea, did I? Yeah, you know what else I didn't have? Yeah, I didn't have any birthday cake on my birthday. Yeah, no birthday cake on my birthday. Now, I've divided the listeners. I've divided the audience. The audience is at this point like, bro, seriously. Somebody right now has done the, how old are you? Really? This is it? There are some people right now thinking, holy shit, who the fuck has a birthday with no cake? There you go, you see. At this point we are divided. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back around. There are things that I am not going to go into, but honestly, I had a little bit of the birthday blues, largely because I had something to do in the afternoon / evening, and if I'm honest, if I'm being honest and truthful, it was not something I wanted to do. It had a collection of elements. It had a journey that I didn't want to have to undertake. It had the opportunity of seeing people that I didn't want to see. It had the opportunity for being about 450,000 degrees. And it had the opportunity of being really, really long. That's what I knew beforehand. If it had just been those things, it could have been okay. But it wasn't. It wasn't. So let's skip back and then skip ahead. So what I've written down is the birthday blues. I, in some ways, felt, wow, this is amazing. This is a wonderful time. This is a great birthday. And in other ways, I felt, wow, this really does highlight the things that are important in life that you don't realize, you don't register, and you don't sort of think about until it's too late. The realization that when I woke up on my birthday and the realization that my son wasn't there, I was like, oh man, I'm really sad. I don't get to see him until later in the day. And I'm sad. I wanted to say hi, have a hug, and maybe you would say happy birthday. It's that. There's a part of me that's like, take the rest away. Take all of it away. Take all the gifts. Take all the money. Take all the activities away. And give me that. Would I have been happier? Possibly. Maybe. The way I was feeling at the time, I certainly felt like I would have been. So, you've got like, oh, let's go and do this activity. And I was like, initially the idea, great idea, fantastic idea, wonderful idea. At the time, not the best idea. Not the best. And then, if I'm honest, by the time we'd like done the activity and had to sit down and had a drink and had whatever and done this and gone home and worked out, for me the day was over. The day was done at that point. And it wasn't because I had hours and hours and hours and hours left of the day, but the day was over. So, my eldest daughter was doing a show, a summer concert. To me, the words summer concert suggests music, some dancing, more music, bands, singing, etc. She's like, I'm singing as part of a crew, as part of an ensemble cast. I'm like, that's fine, as long as I get to see you and I get to see you sing and do whatever you're doing. That's great. Not a great journey. Not a great journey to do at rush hour. There are some sketchy roads out that way. And I said this at the time, and I'm going to be honest here, and I imagine at some point down the line, maybe one or more of my children might listen to this and go, that's not very nice. But in the spirit of honesty, of the 365 days, you could have put it on 364 of them, and I'd have been ever so slightly more amenable to go and do it. Any of them. Any other day. Any other day apart from that day. So, there's that. Also, see previous comments, and it was a perfect storm of, this is not necessarily what I want to do. Now, it does have its pluses. I would be able to tick off all 4 children in one day. That's a big tick. I get to see my daughter perform and do her thing up on a stage. Big tick. Few downsides, yes, but we've got some big ticks. So, it kind of balances out. Do have to remember the fact that it was going to be 400,000 degrees that evening, and school halls are notorious for having no fucking airflow. And this one is no different. Picture right now in your head a school hall. It's exactly what you imagine. It's exactly it. Whatever the picture is in your head right now, that's it. Oh my God, it was so warm. Oh dear lordy lord, it was so warm. So, anyway. 2 hours long. Does include an intermission, but you know how these things go. 2 hours. Be there on time, starts on the dot. I go and park about 3 miles away and then walk in the warm evening air into the school. Find a seat, sit down. Now, luckily for me, took a drink with me. Oh my word, lifesaver. Literally, I think at one point, could have been a lifesaver. So, moving on. They are very prompt. I will give them this. They are super prompt. If they tell you it's starting at 7, the moment that second hand hits the top, the show starts, whether you are ready or not. And away we go. And we get a series of performances into the show, and I go, is this a fucking wind-up? Is this genuinely what it is that we are doing with our evening? Is this it? Because here's the thing. There are children out there in the world that are very talented. There are children out there in the world that can play music, can sing, can dance, can do it all, can sing, dance, and play music. There are those that can sing incredibly. They can do a performance that will make you weep. There are talented children out there in the world. I've seen it. I've been to those shows, I've been to those plays, I've been to see even like the little ones. Every now and then there'll be one that just stands out and you're like, my God, that child was amazing. Not all children, though. Not all children are talented. No, some children are bang average. Some children are, not as into it maybe. Some children are not as good. And some children are what you would say not good. Imagine the child that desperately wants to learn the violin right up until the point that they realise that A, you have to practice, B, you have to practice a lot, C, you have to go to all the lessons, D, it means you can't play computer games or see your friends, and a load of other reasons why when you tell them to go and practice the fucking violin that you bought them, and they tell you they don't want to, and they don't want to do violin anymore, and you say, tough shit, go and get fucking practicing, the noise that comes out of that bedroom an hour later sounds like a variety of animals being murdered. That's probably something you don't want to put on the stage for 200 parents. One child. Now let's rinse and repeat, shall we? Just one after another, one child after another child after another child, going up, and I am convinced that this is some sort of you've been framed at this point in time, because every time a child stops, the applause is off the chart. And I'm sat like, I think you lot are at a different performance. Then we get into some singing and so on, and some of the singing's not great. And I am sat going, this was it, yeah? This was the decision for everybody to spend their evening doing. Now I am coming across as harsh, and I am coming across as being overly harsh. They're kids. They're not going to be the best, and all of those things. But you've got to remember, I was already pretty salty before I arrived to this. Several performances in. A big group of people come out, do some singing and dancing, and my daughter's there. It's just some singing and some dancing. Not actual singing. It's just music. And the dancing, I looked and was like, I imagine as somebody who does a variety of different dancing activities in a week, this is probably below your pay grade. And I've seen you perform in dance shows. So. And then she was gone. And all these other performances, teachers going up and playing the keyboard for people to play other things, and I'm like, you couldn't find a child to play the keyboard? I didn't come to see the teachers perform. I didn't even come to see the other kids perform. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. And after, I think it was about 50 minutes, they were like, it's time for an intermission. We're not going to put the stage lights on because we'll probably burn everybody to a crisp. At this point, my brand new t-shirt, which I should have changed before leaving, is 85% liquid. So that's fun. They're like, oh, you can go and get some refreshments. I'm like, well, I've got a bottle of water. I don't want to lose my seat and end up having to sit anywhere. So I'm just going to sit here. And they brought one of the best parts of the evening. They brought a little tea trolley round with like drinks. And I was like, can I have a bottle of water, please? And this kid's like, yeah, what do you want? Bottle of water? And I was like, yeah. He's like, there you go, bottle of water. Massive bottle of water, £1. I'm like, fuck yeah. I honestly thought it was going to be like, that's a £5, mate. I'd be like, shit the bed. But £1 for a massive bottle of water. I was like, fuck yes. The intermission ends and they start the second half. And by this point, I've started to see the funny side of things. I've started to see the side of things where I'm like, I actually think this is a wind-up. I think this is a joke. I think this is an elaborate, drawn-out joke. And I think it's funny. I think it's really funny. So, I start amusing myself. People go up, do a variety of things. I have a little chuckle to myself. And I don't think I'm the only one, because there was a point where a couple of kids come out to sing a song. They've got microphones and they've got like a troupe, a dance of dancers. They come out to sing a song and I went, oh, you cannot sing that song, for a variety of different reasons. One being, it's incredibly childish. So, bold move. 2, it is suggested that it is sung by somebody of a different nationality to you, which brings in the, do you do the accent and get in trouble, or do you sing it without the accent, which then means why the hell would you choose that song to sing? Anyway, these guys come and do it as a bit of a duet. One of them is, let's say, more confident than the other. The other is less confident. Neither of them all that great. They're kids. What do we expect, etc. But by this point, I am not the only one that is being amused by what's going on, because a lady behind me goes, I don't care. That guy's got moves. And I had to fit the entire fist in the mouth by this point, because that one proper cracked me up. My daughter came out to do another big performance thing. There was a lot of dancing. She was laughing at the person that she was dancing with. That amused me. By the end of it, I'm having a whale of a time. I am amusing myself royally. I'm having a great time. It's the best. It gets to the end. They're like, get out of here, you crazy kids. We'll see some of you next week. And I was like, fuck you. So I up and scarper. I saw my middle daughter, gave her a little wink as I walked past, and away I went. In the car, drive home, get home, best part of 10 o'clock. And that was kind of that. Sat down to play my new game. No tea, no cake, and birthday done. Now then, are you ready for the twist? There are certain activities, as I mentioned, that I like to do when it's birthday time. Let's fast forward to the next day. As it was my birthday, and I had other stuff going on, and all these other things on a lot of other factors, I had to move a birthday activity to the next day. Extended birthday. Now the plot thickens. Now we're starting to get into maybe there was more to this than meets the eye, like a transformer. So I like a round of golf for my birthday. It's the one time of the year I play golf. I keep saying to people, I'm pretty sure I played it like 2 or 3 times last year, so that's categorically not true, but for the sake of this story, let's go with it. I booked some golf action. Not all of my golf people were available, so it was just myself and my friend Tim, and we arranged to meet at the golf course that we play at, and we arranged a 9:30 tee time. I got waylaid by a puppy, so, you know, I think we can all excuse that. And I aimed to be there by 15:15. I was there by 20 past. Gear out the car, paid in, completely messed up how to go about paying for things, and was like, well, we're off to a flying start. There was a big group in front of us, and they were like, we assure you, we're not going to slow you down because we're playing a certain thing where we only play 2 balls between the 4 of us. And me and Tim are like, honestly, don't care. You just do you, we'll do us. Nobody behind. Or so we thought. Turned out there was a 2-ball behind us, and, well, they were a lot better than us, but we couldn't play faster than the group in front. So it's just this group in front, then me and Tim, and then this 2 behind that were better. But there was no point in letting them through, so we're just in this bit of a traffic jam. We set out. I initially thought, hey, we might be on for a good round here. I'm going to spare you all the gory details, but let's just recap, shall we? One of the worst round of golf I've had in 5 years, I'd say. I lost all of the balls that were stored in my trolley. One of those I've had for 5 years. Lost them all. That's 4 balls. It would have nearly been 5 if I hadn't found one of them. So 4 balls lost. One of the worst round of golfs I've had. Worst rounds of golf I've had in 5 years. And it was a great time. Because again, as I said to Tim, look at it this way, could be in the office right now. It was one of those, like, I hit some absolute pearlers. And then every other shot was, oh, look, it's gone 45 degrees to the right. Pretty sure I hit one that went backwards at one point. Most used club in the bag? Ball retriever. Oh, that's not a club. Sorry, sand wedge. Not a joke. I used the sand wedge more than I used any other club in my bag, including the putter. But it was a lovely round of golf. Get back from a round of golf, had a couple of drinks afterwards. Not like that. One was a Diet Coke. One was a Guinness Zero. Let's not get, whatever. Round of golf, couple of drinks. Home. Clothes off. Wink, wink. Gym clothes on. Into the gym and crank out a workout. So much so that it looks like a river in the gym by the time I'm finished. There is sweat everywhere. I was dripping by the end of that workout. Out. Second shower of the day. Get dressed. Go and pick the girls up from school. Get the girls home. All the kids for tea. And here we go. Round 2 for presents. Yes. Once again, some absolutely delightful gifts. Another fantastic t-shirt. T-shirt game is strong this year. Got a Batman statue. A few other bits. And great time was had by all. Birthday tea for the kids. I had a round of golf, although it was one of the worst round of golf ever. I got some lovely gifts. Saw my children. Boom. Birthday. Done and dusted. Yesterday. A little known fact. Leon's mum's birthday is the day after mine. So, as a mini joint birthday celebration, we went to a cafe I've never heard of on the outskirts of York. And I was not going to even try and lie on this one. I threw out, hey, I'll drive us all. Because I wanted to drive somewhere. That was literally it. I was like, I want to go for a drive. I'll drive. There we go. I get to drive. You guys get to go where you want. Took the 2 little guys. So 5 of us go. We all get in the car. And away we go. Bit of driving. We get to this place. I'm like, oh, this is a nice little place. We go in, and it was lovely. One of those genuine places where you go and you're like, this is very nice. They all ordered some amazing looking food. You know, the kind of place where you look at what everyone else has got. When people like they're getting their orders, and you're like, oh my God, look at that, looks amazing. And then they bring your food, and you're like, oh my God, this food looks amazing. I wasn't eating, so I had a variety of different drinks, all of which were delicious. I had one of the best cups of coffee I've had in a long time. Not gonna drop any names here, people, but a particular establishment that I go to quite often has been super hit and miss on their drinks recently. So much so that I've found it offensive that I actually have to pay for them. So, we had this lovely time. We had a little bit of a walk. We had a drive out, there and back. Brilliant. So, I had cake on, with all the kids. They sang to me and we had birthday cake. So I finally got birthday cake, day late and $1 short, but I did get it. So, in review, if you take those 3 days and you smush them all together and you sort of shake it about, so you shake out all the bits that were less desirable and you smush it all together a bit more and you end up with all the bits that were really nice and all the bits that were really good. Over those 3 days, it was one good birthday. And I know, ungrateful. Honestly, it's that one day kind of thing where you're like, it's just one day. I just want one day. Anyway, I haven't watched a movie in ages, and that's not even true because I watch movies all the time. Like the kids will be watching stuff, and I'll be like, "Oh, what are you watching?" I sat down, they were watching that Boss Baby, and I was like, "What's this about then?" And I sat down to watch a bit with them, and I was like, "Freaking no, man! This is like the story of your life." I said to my youngest daughter, I was like, "This is literally the story of your life, isn't it?" Shouldn't take too kindly to that. But I don't watch movies. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the heat. The thought of having to sit for like 2 hours in the same place is like, oh. So no movies to talk about at the moment. I've got a long list of films that I want to watch, but I haven't. I do suspect next week it'll be Movie Central. Me and my eldest have got a load of movies penciled in for next week. So I'm sure we will watch exactly 0 of them, but hey, I can tell you, TV-wise, I watched the first episode of the new Ghost in the Shell animation. It's available on Prime. Weirdly, only the first episode was available, which was odd in this day and age. I find it very strange when they don't put at least a couple of episodes out. I and a few people I know have watched it. It's had very good reviews because it's basically just page to screen from the manga to the animation. They've used the correct style and they've used like the story. It's page to screen perfect, so it's very good from that perspective. It looks nice. The characters and story and acting and stuff, brilliant, great, wonderful stuff. Away we go. I've also been watching My Hero Academia. Every time I think, do you know what, I'm going to stop watching this, it does feel like it gets better, but I do wonder if that's kind of done on purpose. It feels like every time I'm like, do you know what, I'm going to stop watching this, you then get a good episode. What I will say is that the main character does seem to be learning a little more about their superpower, their special ability, whatever. They've got a new teacher / trainer. As it stands, I can link every single thing that's happened in this program to Naruto. And I think that's part of the reason that I'm kind of salty about it, because I'm like, it's just Naruto. That's all it is. Oh, look, you've got a new teacher. What's his name? Jiraiya. It's just that. It's just like, oh, there's that character from Naruto. There's that character from Naruto. You just like, it feels lazy, if I'm honest. We are well on with season 6 of Young Sheldon. There's literally half a series left of this, and then a half series to finish it off. My realization has been, after 6 series, every single character in the show is fucking awful, barring George, to a degree, and Georgie. Outside of that, all of the characters are terrible people, and you're like, was that the goal? Was the goal to make a show? I keep saying, I'm like, it's just like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, all the characters are awful, and apparently that's okay. Very odd. Computer games. Haven't played any VR. That will come as no real surprise if you knew that it was 30-something degrees last week. Gross. Pretty sure, I mean, the computer's telling me it's 17 degrees right now. It still feels like 25, if I'm honest. My watch is saying 16. I don't believe either of them. I think you're both lying to me. Bunch of lying doodads. It's too warm for VR. So instead, I got a new game for my birthday. I got Resident Evil 9, which is Resident Evil Requiem. I've also been playing Stellar Blade. I've actually been playing the Spider-Man 2 game, because I got it as part of birthday money for the PC, because I wanted to play it on the PC. Me and my son have been playing it together. He's quite good at it. Anyway, let's do it in reverse. Stellar Blade. Fine. Great. Good. There was a section that they were like, hey, we want you to do some precision jumping. Our jump mechanic is fucking awful. The rage that I felt, the screaming, that was a beautiful moment in my life. The point in time where I went, okay, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to uninstall this game. And then I'm going to set my PC on fire in 30-degree heat. That was a crowning moment for myself personally. Yeah, managed to get it done. Managed to move on. Killed a boss last night. Don't think it was a big boss. I think it wasn't a mini boss. It was like a middle boss. It was fine. It took me 2 attempts, which I thought was like, it showed a bit of progress. I've unlocked a new move set that I haven't tried out yet, so I'm going to look at trying that at some point. However, let's talk Resident Evil. Resident Evil Requiem. Oh, what a game this one is. 2 games smushed together. You've got Grace, who is basically Resident Evil 7 gameplay, sneaking around in a building, trying not to get caught, and doing puzzles, basically. And you've got Leon, kick ass, shoot everything, anything you can't shoot, kick it in the face. No surprises on this one. I'd like to be playing as Leon. No surprises. You spend the majority of your time playing as Grace, and the first couple of hours are fucking rough. Man alive. I had to get a little buddy to help me in the shape of Leon, and we've basically been playing it together, and it's kind of been fun to do it together. Me and her, a little team. It means that we're not scared, because when we're together and we're not scared, and that's fun. We can bounce ideas off each other. We've got to go and collect the lungs. We've got the heart, now we need the lungs. You've got the code for the safe, but it's the wrong safe after 10 minutes of trying the code on it. So on and so forth. Oh, look, this guy's come back to life. Oh, he's a different type of zombie. Look at that giant baby. All that sort of stuff. It has got better. A lot better. After the first couple of hours, it gets a lot better. Once you start crafting stuff, once you get a bit of a better idea of the layout of the building that you're in, and so on. I just wish there was more Leon, if I'm honest. We have hit a bit of a dead end. We've done everything that's laid out in front of us. There's a series of things we can't do, but we can't do them. It's not like we're like, oh, we've got a puzzle to solve. No, it's here's a box. It's got some buttons to press. There's nothing that tells you what the buttons do or how to use them. We've got a safe we can't open because we don't have the code. We've got a series of enemies we can't beat because they're smarter than the average bear. It's kind of that at the moment. I did suggest we may have to look up how best to progress because I feel genuinely stuck. Did find something out today while I was talking to Sam at work that one of the enemies we've been running away from, you can actually defeat and you get something for defeating that enemy. So it may be worth us trying to take him down. We shall see. That is it. We are kind of done and dusted there for the podcast. I hope you could see. Now I'm going to try and, cover my back. I hope you could see that it did sort of come round. I wasn't being overly mean and I wasn't being ungrateful. Overall, probably a good birthday in the good birthday column. It just took a few days to get there. But, yeah. A lot of it was good. A lot of it was nice. I just, when you just think, just one day. But anyway, there we go. That is the podcast. And I will catch you next time. So there we go. What do you think of that? Another one done. Another one gone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Before you leave us, please do consider like, share, subscribe, and comment. Leave a review where you can leave a review. Check out the website, thecookiecast.com. There we have social media links and an email button, and that way you can get in touch with us. That is it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I will see you then.
Thank you for listening to this episode of CookieCast.